Thank you for calling me the math minister. But I am just like you, I am a math enthusiast, and I'm just fond of reading the Bible. Okay, I am a public school teacher, and when I was young, I used to borrow my grandmother's Bible, which was written in Filipino. And I read this together with my English King James Bible. Any of you familiar with the Bible? May I see your hands, please? Yes. Okay. Whenever I do this, I get to accomplish two things together. I get to learn about God's Word for one, and I get the chance to enrich my vocabulary. Next slide, please. God has taught this man in the biblical times, during biblical times, about how to do math. And it has been the basic of math instruction ever since. Okay? Let us see this. Genesis chapter 5, verses 3 to 5. And Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam, after he had begotten Seth, were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. So what do we have here? Addition, right? Let us see. 130 years plus 800 years equals 930 years. Starting from Genesis, God has already taught his men about the four fundamental operations. And it has been, as I said, the basic of math instruction ever since. I remember my mother, when I was 11, she saw me simplifying algebraic expression and solving mathematical equations. She asked me, "What is that you're doing? Is that how difficult math is right now?" And she added, "When we were at school, we call it arithmetic. We were just dealing with addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division." To my realization, it actually is as important as today as yesterday. Because most of the things that we do in math are just applications of the four fundamental operations. It has just gotten more advanced nowadays. Now I said four fundamental operations. Let us see the next one. In 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 37 to 38. In the 4th year was the foundation of the house of the Lord laid, in the month of Ziph. And in the 11th year, in the month of Bul, which is the 8th month, was the house finished throughout all the parts thereof, and according to all the fashion of it. So was he 7 years in building it. See, there's math problem in the Bible. And according to my reading, there's very close to 150 of them. But I cannot discuss everything now. And this one involves subtraction. 11 years minus 4 years equals 7 years. Next. 1 Chronicles chapter 3, verse 24. And the sons of Elionai were Hodiah and Elisli, and Peliah, and Aku, and Johanan, and Deliah, and Anani. 7. 1 Chronicles chapter 3, verse 24. This is one of those verses where, as regular readers, we do not see, or we do not see any message at all. There's no message conveyed to us. But to Bible scholars, of course, this is very important because this is used in tracing some connections about what they're studying. And to us, all we read is four names of the sons of Elionai, and then after which the word 7. What do we see here as math enthusiasts? Let us see. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 7. This is actually the same way we define multiplication. Repeated addition of the same atoms. Okay? To complete the four, let us have Leviticus chapter 27, verse 27 of the King James Version. And if it be of an unclean beast, then he shall redeem it it according to thine estimation, and shall add a fifth part of it thereto. Or if it be not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to thy estimation. That's Leviticus chapter 27, verse 27. So we have here fraction. A fifth part of it. Fraction means division. So we have completed the 4. And in addition, we have estimation. A basic skill that we would like to have, but that we would like our young people to have. Right? And if we look at it, isn't it the same way we write postulates and theorems in mathematics? The if, then, for. Okay, folks. Now I believe that God would like His men, after giving the basics, of course, I believe that God would like His men to further advance mathematics learning, as it is manifested in how mathematics very advanced nowadays. You can see from your classrooms how your teachers, how your professors discuss. Next please. In 1 Kings chapter 7 verse 23 to 26, I did not include the text already because it's too long. There is a reference to the magnitude of pi. Although there were some contentions about this because they said that the calculation for the value of pi was inaccurate. However, I believe that because during those times, no one can actually draw a perfect circle. Okay? I believe somehow that at least it was hinted so that man will search, will experiment, will evaluate, and then eventually will get the most accurate value for pi. Next please. Properties of real numbers may also be seen in some biblical texts. An example is in Luke chapter 12, verse 52. What does it say? For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. In here we have 3 plus 2 equals 2 plus 3, which is the commutative property of addition. And there are some more discussions about the other properties of real numbers in other verses. Well, it's for you to browse now on the Bible. Next please. This one I added because the mathematically inclined will really search on the numbers that he reads. John chapter 21 verse 11, it says, Simon Peter went up and drew the net to land full of great fishes, 153. And for all there were so many, yet was not the net broken. John chapter 21 verse 11. Again, this is another type of verse wherein we as regular reader would not see any message being conveyed to us by the Bible. But to the mathematically inclined, actually Bible scholars are clueless about the use of 153 in there. But to the mathematically inclined, he can see that 153 is actually the sum of the first 17 natural numbers. Look at it. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. You try with your calculators. Plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. Plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 14 plus 15 plus 16 plus 7. That's actually 153. Another one. 153 is the sum of 1 factorial, 1, 2 factorial, 2, plus 3 factorial, 6, plus 4 factorial, 24, plus 5 factorial, 120. That's 1, plus 2, plus 6, plus 24, plus 120, 153. Wait, there's more. 153 is the sum of the cubes of its digits. The digits of 153, 1, 5, and 3. 1 cubed, 1, 5 cubed, 125, plus 3 cubed, 27. 1 plus 125 plus 27, 153. Okay? And lastly, 153 lies dormant in every third number. Take any multiple of 3, sum the cubes of its digits, take the result. Sum the cubes of its digits, take the result. The process goes on and so on, you will eventually get 153. What am I saying here? Let us take 12, a multiple of 3 as an example. The digits are 1 and 2. So we have 1 cubed plus 2 cubed, 8 plus 1, that's 9. 9 cubed is 729. The result now was the digits 7, 2, and 9. So 7 cubed, 343. 2 cubed, 8. And 9 cubed, 729. Added up, 1080. Now the digits are 1, 0, 8, and 0. 1 cube plus 0 cube plus 8 cube plus 0 cube, that is 530. 1 plus 512. And last, the digits of the results are 5, 1, and 3. So 5 cube plus 1 cube plus 3 cube, 125 plus 1 plus 27, 103. See, a very simple verse, but to a mathematically inclined. What does he see? Now this one. In Numbers chapter 1, verses 2 to 3, God is talking in here. Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel, after their families, by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their posts, from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel. Thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies. The same command was discussed in Numbers chapter 26, verse 2, and also in Numbers 26, verses 52 to 53. The Bible has in its record the first statisticians in the person of Moses and Aaron. That's statistics. Now, if the Bible has taught us the basics and paved the way to further advance the learning of mathematics in order that we would see the beauty of God's creation, then mathematics learning is essential. And we can use the Bible to deepen our foundation, to deepen our appreciation of mathematics. At present, we have 7 C's of 21st century learning. And these are critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, cross-cultural understanding, computing, career, and self-reliance. I hope you wouldn't mind if I add one more, please, and call it the 8C, Christ. During the time of Christ, he used mathematics in his teaching. In Matthew chapter 12, verses 41 to 47, if you come across a red letter edition of the King James Bible, you will see that this text is written in red, signifying that it was Jesus Christ who's talking in here. And he either mentioned or implied inequalities. I leave it for you to read. And also, in Jesus Christ's teaching about forgiveness, in Matthew chapter 18, verse 22, how did he say that? Do it 70 times 7. Which is during those times already a huge number. And to my realization, one pastor said that 490, 70 times 7, 490. It is actually the estimated number of times that the number 7 was mentioned in the Bible. Now let's go back to Jesus Christ's teaching. I just couldn't imagine the faces of those people who were listening to Jesus Christ at the time. Lord, math? Now, if we believe that Jesus Christ, that we are for Jesus Christ, then it is a fact that mathematics learning is essential. And it must go hand in hand in developing our young children, our youth. Let us train them in the way God would like us to do that. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6 commanded us to train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And now let me talk to you, students. If you are a student and you know the reason for your life here on earth, and you know that you are for God, you are to please God, or you want to please God, the Bible has something for you. Please, 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 50. What does it say? Study. Study. Study to show thyself approved unto God. Okay? Are we getting that? Now, as a student, of course, we have our struggles. We have our difficulties. Even those who are taking BS Mathematics are finding difficulties about some mathematical problems. Okay? I've been doing all the effort and still to no avail. I've been burning the midnight oil and still what I get are failing grades. Some people are actually doing away with mathematics by getting other courses. If you would like to know math, the Bible has this thing. In James chapter 1 verse 5 it says, if any of you lack wisdom, wisdom is coming from the Lord. I know one person who's been the most intelligent person who ever lived in this world. That's King Solomon. He asked God for wisdom. Please read the Bible. Let him ask of God. Wisdom is coming from God. That giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. James chapter 1 verse 5. That's all. Thank you, and God bless you all.